Hi, Phyllis here from southernfrugal.com. I'm going to make some blender coleslaw. That's what I call it. I learned how to make this from my sister-in-law, 30-some years ago. It just works a lot faster than having to chop it or shred it or even really fixing it in the food processor, simply because it gets washed really good at the same time. Alright, I'm going to turn this down and let you see how I do this. Alright, this is a head of cabbage. We bought this, I'd say about 3 weeks ago. I bought a whole box of cabbage, and so it's been in the refrigerator for a while, so I'm going to take that outer leaf off. Now, the cabbage was just super good cooked. It was really sweet, and I froze a lot of it. But anyway, so here it is, pretty small little head. The first thing I'm going to do is cut it right in half. And then right where the that little center section is, I'm going to cut that in half. Then I'm going to cut that little center section out. And now I'm going to just cut it in, 3 or 4 times. Just enough so I can get it in the blender. I'm going to do it 1/4 of the head at a time. So I'm going to put that in the blender. Turn it up so you can see here. Then I'm going to add water. Add it about, 2/3 of the way up. Now, when I turn the blender on, it's going to, start making its usual noise. And the next thing it's going to do, it's going to slow down. So once it slows down, I know that it's the cabbage is grated to the point where I want it. So now just listen carefully to the blender. I said slow down. I really meant it speeds up. All right, now the drain or the sifter really is what this is, a little sifting basket. Now I'm going to take what's been blended up and just pour it right in. Now I'm going to do the same thing 3 more times, and then we'll be back. Alright, I wanted to do the last quarter of that cabbage up closer so you can definitely hear it speed up. Then you'll know it's ready. Alright, I'm going to turn it on now. Now see, it reached that higher speed and then it maintained it. That's how I know it's ready. Alright, now we're going to take this and pour it right over top of my little drainage basket, I guess you'd call it. Now this thoroughly washes the cabbage also. Now I'm going to take a spoon and, I have to get it, sorry, and mash some of this water out of it. Now you're going to really squeeze some more water out later, but right now I just want to get some of it out. See it coming out? More. Oops. Yeah, don't let it fall in the sink. That would be bad news. Although I've had that happen before. Okay, that's enough now, because we're going to now put some salt on it. Just to sprinkle a whole bunch of salt on it. And here's the little secret that makes it taste really great. This is about 3 tablespoons of sugar. I'll sprinkle that on the top of it. And I'm just going to stir it around in there. Being careful to not spill it, of course. Now, what's going to happen is the sugar and the salt are going to make these cabbage, little bits of cabbage, release some of their moisture. And also it's going to get rid of some of the moisture that was caused from grinding it up in the blender. Alright, so now we're going to wait about 10 minutes and I'll be back and show you what to do. Alright, we're back and the cabbage has been shredded in the blender. Now, the reason I do it this way is because it washes it at the same time that it shreds it up. Alright, now the next thing, make sure your hand's clean and just squeeze that water out just really hard and then put it in your bowl. Now, I could be mashing it down at the same time, but the reason you have to do that is to get all that water out. See, get it almost dry. Sorry, there goes my dogs again. They bark when the postman comes, they bark when a big truck goes down the street, and they mostly bark when I'm trying to record. Alright, we're almost through. Again, just squeeze it all out. And the sugar and the salt in there, both of them, will make some of the water run out from the cabbage. And some of that water, of course, is what I blended it in the blender with. Okay, I think we've about got all out that we can get out. And there it is in my bowl. Now, the rest of this is pretty simple. I'm just going to rinse my hand off. I'm going to put in just a little more salt. Now, not much, because you had salt in it to make some of the juice run. I'm kind of at the bottom of the barrel on this. This is sweet relish. And that's probably about 2 tablespoons. So I'm just going to dump that right in there. Rinse my spoon off a little bit. And the next thing will be some real mayonnaise. I just use Kraft because I like it. Sometimes I get Great Value because I think that is Kraft. But just take a couple of huge spoonfuls, plop them in. And then we're just going to stir this and mix this up really good. And some of the juice is going to continue to run out of the cabbage. So if you think it's dry now, when you put it in the refrigerator and after it sits for a while, it's going to get a lot juicier. In fact, sometimes it gets so juicy I have to pour some of it off again. So again, this looks kind of dry, but actually I think I'm going to put yet another spoonful of the mayonnaise in it. So there'll be 3 big spoonfuls, and it really all depends on the size of your head of cabbage. Yeah, that'll do it. So in this case, with this cabbage head, it really takes about 3 big tablespoons to get it all kind of like the way you want it. And what I usually do is put it in the refrigerator. If we're going to have it like for lunch, I make it, about 9 o'clock in the morning and get it good and cold in the refrigerator before we serve it. Now, when I have cabbage that's got those dark green leaves on it, I really like the way those look in the coleslaw. And so I just, if they're pretty, I take those off and you really just cut them up with the scissors and put them right in the blender too. And it will make the coleslaw a lot prettier looking. But in this case, we didn't have any of those leaves, so there you have it. Blender coleslaw, so simple, and it shreds it up so pretty and washes it all at the same time. All right, I'm going to transfer this to a bowl and put it in the refrigerator, and we'll see you next time.